and remember that as a developer, the bigger the project it is, the more anxious we can get because we only got 5 years to sell. If we don't sell within 5 years, we will be slapped with the ABSD issue.
So Mr. Heng asks, what's your strategy? You don't need to wait too long and still buy a reasonable price and not to pay seller's stamp duty?
If you are looking at Enbloc, wanting to buy an old project waiting for Enbloc, I always advise people that should not be the strategy. It's better off, Enbloc can be quite complicated. I always, even my own family members say, hey, should we buy this old project just to wait out for Enbloc? I always say no. What? I say that I think you invest in probably new project that is priced sensitively. I think you wait out 3 years. Imagine today you buy an Enbloc site and you think that, okay, whether you heard from inside that going to Enbloc soon and someone need cash urgently, they want to cash out. So even if you buy at a good price, but 1 year later, what if you go Enbloc? You'll still be slapped with the seller's stamp duty. So because the policy is 3 years you can't sell. So I always tell people that if you want to buy, you want to have a windfall through buying old development and wait out for Enbloc, the answer is better though, because your heart may not be able to take it. So it is better that somehow I always tell my own family member, when they go and look at some of the new project in the market which is priced more sensitively, because you buy, you pay a 5% down, 8 weeks later 15%. After which you don't have to pay anything, right? You don't even, anything is progressive. A sizable project of 100 unit, 200 unit, it takes 3 years to build. So it is always when the project about to TOP, it's always this is a very layman strategy of investment. When the project is about a TOP, which is 3 years later or 2.5 years later, then you will see the capital appreciation. Because at that point in time, people in the market want to buy ready unit for homestay. So that's why I always told my friends and family, why not you go through that route? I think it's safer. Rather than when it comes for investment point of view, or even buying a shop house or buying a landed property, I think it makes a bit more sense.
Yeah. So you are more towards buying something that could have certain value because of scarcity, because of shop houses, which is not again accessible to anyone as well.
Yes, I think shop house is another interesting class of market because there's only a limited number of shop houses in Singapore. It's just like landed property or even GCB. So unless you want to you do not mind weighing out for 10 years or 15 years horizon, then okay, you can buy an old project hoping that they will go Enbloc. But sometimes can be quite tough. Remember that as the years go by for a developer, the price also increase because my lease top up premium also need to pay. The number of lease drop, so really have to weigh. Yeah.
So we have another 2 more questions, and of course with that we will probably
rather view Enbloc. If you ask me, View is a huge project. So sometimes a big project, you need muscles. You really need a consortium or different developer coming together. Just like I think one of the biggest Enbloc big plot land that ever happened in the past was actually deleted. That was by Capital Land. So you really need muscles to really go into all these big mega project. That's one thing. Pricing is also another thing. And remember that as a developer, the bigger the project it is, the more anxious we can get because we only got 5 years to sell. If we don't sell within 5 years, we will be slapped with the ABSD issue. Yeah. So this is one of the Bayshore. I have not studied that plot yet, but I say east side is a good area. That stretch itself, I don't think there was any new launch for a long time, especially that we don't talk about Amber area, but Bayshore that area there isn't much new launch. So it really depends on how committed the the existing owner is, how motivated they are. Are they ready? Sometimes if the residence is ready and the price is realistic, the consultant will come. Of course, is there any upside for the developer? Has the area itself, plot ratio, has it been maxed up? If the plot ratio has been maxed up, there's not much upside for the developer as well.
Yeah. So again, I guess what we really want to share here, I think more or less is from, in order to round out this entire so-called dialogue with Eugene, I guess my question here is that on a scale of 0 to 10, what are your advice for people who want to go on Enbloc? Is there any matrix that you feel that it is more pertaining to the development because of the development attributes, or do you feel that it is more profile-centric, where it's more about the age of the buyer? Because again, as part of one of the chapter that I share about the buyer's profile, if someone is old and waiting for Enbloc, in the event something happens, he actually pass down that burden to someone else. And so again, is this really more development driven, or is it more profile driven? And really is Enbloc for everyone from the 0 to 10 perspective? And of course, why you measure it that level?
I really think that buying old project for the purpose of, let's say we talk about investment point of view, nowadays because of the market, we only got one bullet. The first bullet you buy, you pay 3 to 4% stamp duty, depending on below 1 million or above 1 million, right? Then if you are willing to pay the ABSD, which everyone can accept now, your 3 plus 5%, right?
3 plus right now, a lot more higher right now. Yeah.
3 plus 12. Yeah, so sometimes after you buy the second one, the third one, you will think very hard because the ABSD just keep increasing. So I always tell buyers that ready for buying old development for the purpose of Enbloc, unless you don't mind holding out for many years, unless you don't mind staying there for the next 8 years, then after that you think that the master plan around the estate will change, then you cash out. Yeah, so that could be that can be one possibility. But I always advise people, for investment point of view, do not bet on old project and thinking that you'll go on top. I remember, because old project, what is the issue? You can go in thinking that you will go on block, but what if it don't, and it never happen according to your investment milestone? What about the idea is always about enter is easy, right? What is exit? When you exit, will there be other investor buying over your old project? Because development is very funny. 9 years projects, but after you hit the 10 years mark, after that things will get stagnant, then you will go down a bit. Yeah. So this is something that you have to consider. What is your exit strategy? So if the exit strategy horizon is 3 years, then I would say don't go for Enbloc. Anyway, you are stuck with SSD. Then you should look for other alternative, whether is it a new home sales, whether buying a shop house, or even buying a landed property.